Take a look at the forecast. Joining me was meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees. A warm day, short sleeve weather. Can we expect the same thing tomorrow?
It will still technically be warmer than normal, but a lot cooler and drier than today. We've talked about this so many times, but y'all, it hit 82 today. It broke a record for November 8th.
I'm never going to wear my hoodies.
I know, you got all those hoodies stacked up and they're waiting. I do think you'll see some days where you might be able to do so, and maybe even Sunday morning, ever so briefly though, before we see rain return. Let's focus on the good here, is that we still have a lot of opportunities. If you love fall colors, we're starting to see peak conditions creep into the northwestern Piedmont, high for most everywhere else. Yes, technically past peak up in the mountains, but there are still many areas that need our tourism. So please make sure you're doing your research about that and helping some of those areas devastated by Helene there in the western Carolinas. Current muggy meter starting to look much better. We're slowly filtering in some of that drier air, but folks, it'll look even better this time in 24 hours as we see smiles all around. You know, I like to show the muggy meter with the emojis just because it kind of gives you a better perspective of what it actually feels like. Showing you a number by itself is just not really compared to normal. It's not really compared to what it feels like, but I can tell you it will feel fantastic by really this time heading into tomorrow morning, this time tomorrow afternoon, this time tomorrow evening, as it is going to be absolutely fantastic Saturday ahead. And that's because this front is still pushing its way across the Carolinas, allowing for some of that drier air to filter in. Now, before it quite reaches all the way to our ground levels, we are starting to see something else being picked up here. If you have our WCNC Charlotte mobile app, you might use it to track rain with us often. If you see a little bit of green being picked up here, this is not rain. It's called ground clutter. It oftentimes will happen after a cold front either moves through or is working its way through. It happens when the temperature, as we go high up in the atmosphere, so up in the troposphere, warms with height instead of cools with height, which is normal. So it kind of confuses the radar. I promise you it is not rain. But one thing we are seeing in a few of our southern and southeastern counties is some patchy fog, but it's not too dense out there right now. Some of that patchy fog could linger into tomorrow morning, but the afternoon, fantastic, picture perfect. Temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. Again, still technically above average for this time of year, but a lot better than we have been. Sunday morning, we'll see that chance for patchy fog again, but it's Sunday afternoon especially that we'll see some spotty showers. It is not going to be too heavy nor too widespread for Sunday afternoon, but in the overnight hours heading into Monday, we could see some pockets of heavier rain at times. They'll be mostly brief though, and the good news is that by Monday afternoon, once kids, out of school, which of course is Veterans Day, I know many parents were probably wanting to get out and about with the kiddos. You'll be able to. Once we get past noontime, drier air filters in. Monday afternoon looks fantastic. Here's a quick look at your weekend forecast. Again, tomorrow we start off slightly cooler and drier, much better in the afternoon. Few showers returning for the forecast as we head into Sunday. Here's your full look at your Guy Roofing 7-day forecast. Again, we see that rain on Sunday. More clouds will allow for temperatures to only stay in the 60s. We will get a little bit warmer after that rain passes by on Monday. Tuesday is fantastic. Then we have another cold front nick coming in on Thursday. This will bring the chance for rain, but I think it could also allow for not just one day, not just 2 days, but maybe 3 or 4 days of fall-like weather to kind of remain across the forecast. We've seen fall, but it's just been a day few and far between. So I think multiple days in a row this time next week will be a nice little change.